You're listening to the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network. The views and opinions expressed on this episode are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or philosophies of the PFC Entertainment Network or any of the affiliates that make this show possible. This show has also been rated M for mature audiences only. This is Creepy Soup on the PFC Entertainment Network.
I don't know.
It's for
Shit, 2 weeks ago I couldn't even get my name right. So fuck. We have a special guest with us this week. We have Dan the Coffee Man.
Hi.
welcome.
We're so glad to finally have you on after
I know, I'm happy.
2 years.
Right, I'm back.
And Miss Justice.
Yeah, the little kitty cat. Oh,
Little Justice.
in a hot ass room in here. Ooh, no air.
Yes.
So yeah, we brought Dan in today. One, because as we've said 100 times out here, we love Dan, and we Jenny and I have both talked. We need to order the shirt.
I know, I do too.
Since we love Dan. So while you're here, and I know you said it's like an ADHD thing, but can you talk a little bit about Black Lily Boutique?
Black Lily Boutique is a obviously small business that me and my wife have started, and we make anything and everything that we possibly can, because why only set the standards to one or few things? So we currently have goat soap that will be for sale that we've been making. It's all handmade, hand pressed, all that jazz. So, no outward chemicals, none of that stuff. All natural.
Cool.
Scented and non-scented. Once we actually have like a decent amount ready, we'll obviously post it. Other than that, we also have, you name it, candles, car coasters. Yes. You got one of the very first ones we ever made because we had to get it out to somebody that I knew. We actually have a package towards Jenny because Jenny has sent us several care packages. We just haven't sent it out yet. Because you always send us cheese. We have a package that we've been putting together to send you of little things that we've made to check out.
Thank you.
But
That's awesome.
literally, she can make almost anything or any image on tumbler cups, coffee cups, t-shirts, bags, pillowcases, and we've also been making like mini bar lamps out of old liquor bottles that we have for sale.
I've seen those, and I really want one.
They're usually like basic prices for those have only been like $40 or $50, just because that literally covers just the materials to put it together. That's even without us having to buy the bottle. If we buy the bottle, you know what I mean, to get to the bottom of it. But yeah, almost anything and everything. And then I don't remember where I set the card. We do have a QR code. I don't know if it'll show up for anybody, but that's the QR code, and you can find us on Facebook. I can also share. I can share some of the products through the Creepy Soup page if people
Yeah.
follow it. Obviously,
Yep. And
Yeah.
like, tag, and share.
I will put the link to the Facebook page in the show notes. I'll have to write that down so I remember to do just that.
Also, once you make a post for the Facebook, I'll steal it and I'll put it on the TikTok.
Okay, cool.
I have. Okay, so we got a new bird to replace Lucy, and
What kind of bird?
I got parakeets,
Oh,
and
me too.
last week one of them died, right in Roy's hand. It was horrible. And then
That sounds horrible.
And then a couple days later, well, it was Saturday morning, he went and got a new bird. And Lucy was mostly white with a little bit of blue. This one is mostly white with a very, very light hint of green on her
Nice.
belly, or his belly. I don't know, because I cannot tell by the color of that thing if it's a male or a female.
Oh, is that how you tell for those?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I cannot fucking tell.
Maybe it's a they-them situation.
It could be. It could be.
I laugh
know.
because, like, I mess with my parakeets a lot, so they're pretty used to me going in there. But then the few times I've upgraded their cages, so they have like a mini mansion, basically. You know,
Mhm.
it's only two little parakeets, but they're in a glorious mansion that they live in. So then, when I had to move them from mansion to the big mansion, eventually I had I conned the wife into helping me, and then she doesn't like to help me no more because she realized once you grab a hold of them, they like to bite, and they bite hard.
Uh-huh.
And then even if you let go, they don't let go, so they're just flying biting you.
Yeah.
It was a whole experience.
Yeah, I've threatened mine quite often with the air fryer.
Yeah, I don't want little birds. I don't want big birds. We had chickens, lots of chickens. I hate those things.
Yeah.
The females would drown themselves in the ponds, and the roosters would attack
Oh, yeah.
me when I fucking fed them.
Yep.
The other rooster would rape the damn ducks. It's like, dude, wrong species.
Right.
He wasn't understanding.
Yeah. So we have a replacement, and I've settled on the name Stevie because it worked for
Okay.
male or female.
There you go.
So yeah.
This is true.
So Stevie it is. But I don't know if either one of you seen the post that I made. There's mine and Roy's favorite restaurant is closing.
I did see that. What is it? It's on 46, right?
Yep, that Spencer's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
that's
that the pizza
closing.
place?
They have pizza, but that's where me and Roy go for a really good steak.
Oh, okay. I didn't go to that one.
They announced it today that next Saturday when they close, they're done.
Aww.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to be able to get in one last time?
I'm hoping.
I hope you guys can too.
Me too. It just sucks because one of their best meals is their wet burrito. And they only sell that on Tuesdays. I told Roy, like, we have one more opportunity for a wet fucking burrito from there.
He better go like in the early evening and get a couple, so then that way when you get home you can reheat it and have one.
See, and he will do that. He's done that a few times because it's Tuesday and I work Tuesday. So yeah, we're bummed about that.
Yeah, that really sucks. I'm sorry.
I know, it just seems like every
It does
week
suck to lose a good restaurant.
and this restaurant's been open for like 23, 24 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so it's not like it was
Dang.
just,
Yeah.
But there's so many that, because of the pandemic have not survived. But,
Yep.
You go by this place when it's opened, you're lucky to find a place to park. So we don't understand.
Maybe it's some type of a familial situation.
Well, the post had said something about it's not like sustainable for them to remain open. Huh? I don't know. I mean, it's not like their prices
Could be
had.
something. Sometimes with places like that, it could be taxes or something. Like
Taxes and
can't
rent.
keep up or whatever.
Yeah, it might be because the guy that opened it, it was, I want to say like 2 years ago, he sold it to, I think, another family member, and now it's closing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah. So I'm bummed that Spencer's is now closing.
R.I.P.
Right. So we
So,
have decided that this week, because having Dan on was kind of last minute, which has really been our whole theme lately, last minute everything. So it was kind of last minute, so we really didn't have time to prepare anything. So we are all going to talk about like different paranormal things that are going on, like within our homes, maybe some places we've been, some places we'd like to go. We'll let you go first, Dan.
Oh, throwing me into the wolves. Okay.
Yeah.
Um. Well, I guess I don't know. I know. I don't know. Activity in my house is always kind of up and down. Sometimes it's really active. Sometimes it's not. I know the last. I don't often in the house do we ever get like bad vibes by any means or like super creeped out, but just like sometimes depending on our house is almost kind of like when we went to Stimson sometimes. Like if you're having a bad day and you bring it home and like
Hmm.
let that energy out, the house tends to like amplify it sometimes. And then sometimes it's like it does give you that like dark, gritty, like maybe I just don't even want to be in my own bedroom or in my own living room type vibe sometimes. But as we've all always talked about, like with your house, it's the stairs. Our stairway, as we naturally know, stairways, even physical or not, have other stairways there to them.
Hmm.
But our stairs is always got something going on.
Yeah.
Always creaking and steps and nobody's there and it's not cats, it's not dogs, it's not the ferrets.
Yeah. I've been in this house a little over 7 years now, and it does not matter. And we've even had someone come in and do a cleansing on the house, and like the house would feel better, but still, like out of habit, when I'm walking by, I'm looking the opposite way because I don't want to see what's looking at me on the stairs.
See, that's how Caitlin is. She won't look at the stairs, and then she laughs at me because it's like I every day I could walk past them 100 times a day. I gotta I gotta look up, but it's that quick shot to be like, nope, didn't see it. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm safe this time. Yeah, I don't. And Jenny can attest. Like my stairs they're really very creepy.
they are. They really are.
Yes, I
My
was gonna
stairs
say that
aren't.
the creepiest thing we've had happen lately is like we're back to having lights blow out with no reason,
Oh,
like
okay.
our strip lights and stuff. Like one will be flickering and it'll go out and you replace it, and then it's like then the next one will go. And it's like sometimes you think maybe it's a string of bad bulbs, but then it's like when they all constantly go out within a day or two, and the electric's checked good in the house.
Yeah, that's been something. I still have,
Like the day I messaged you when I told you that me and the kids were listening to Beach Boys, and then the music changed on its own. Like that was what like a month ago, I want to say probably.
yep, at that time my Xbox would turn on and off on its own.
Yeah.
Sorry
That
guys,
was
I'm sweating
fun.
my ass off in here.
No, you're all right. I get. I left my fan on, so if there's wind chatter, I apologize. But I'm fat and it's hot, so.
No, what
Yeah,
were you saying, Jenny?
we still have doors, like sounds of doors, I should say. I don't think any of us has actually caught a door opening or closing. It's just the sound of one. So, and then
Yes.
of course, always lots of footsteps all over the house. Um, the things falling has seemed to stop. However, things that are once right in front of me are just poof.
gone.
That's
Yep.
fun. Yeah, yeah, that's fun. So it's like, where the fuck did it go? Last night I was looking for a bag, and I was actually recording with some of the girls in the beauty group because there was four of us, three of us were doing looks. And so, yeah, I lost it. And I'm looking all over, and the girls are watching me, looking back and forth. Like at one point, I'm crouched down. I'm looking on the level of every surface. Like, where the fuck did this thing go?
Yeah.
Yep, I finally found it, tucked in a corner that I looked at a dozen times.
Yeah, that's definitely very familiar. And you know, there is a little blessing with having so many people in the house. Now, instead of me just thinking, okay, did I hear that? Did I see that? I mean, we all know no one else is smelling what I fucking smell. But the one day there was like three of us standing in the kitchen, and we thought Roy had come home because we heard the back door open. Now, mind you, Jenny, I'm in my kitchen, so you know where my back door is in relation to the
Yep,
kitchen,
you're gonna see.
which is right there. And like we heard him, thought we heard him come in, and I said something, and me and Judy look at each other and look, and no one is there. No one has opened the door. Didn't actually. I don't know what it was. Like nobody was there, but I was not the only one that seen it, and I'm used to it, so I wasn't like, oh my god, but she was, oh my god. So yeah, that
That's
was
how we
fun.
are most times. It takes like the other night we randomly had pop cans moving, and again like no critters were out in the house, so it's like, and it literally wait. It's like it literally waited. Like we just finished rinsing them out, set them on the end of the counter. All the cats went into the bedroom with us. The door shut, and then literally by the time we shut the light off, walked to the bed down, pop cans are landing on the floor. And then we go downstairs, and two or three of the kitchen cupboard doors are open, and it's like, to open them, they are. I say they're original to the house, but they're original to the last update the house had from like the 60s or 70s. Like the house itself, we can trace back to at least 1900. It could have been here when the town was originally built, but we can't find exact pictures of where this street is. All the pictures they had back in the day from balloons or whatever are still just of Main Street. So it's hard to say, but
Gotcha.
we know the house has been here since at least 1900, and that didn't get an update until the 60s or 70s.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And it also makes sense that you have activity because it's that damn old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it's we have like, she calls it the creepy side of the basement. The basement breaks up into like three rooms, and then the weird thing is like only the one wall still has like original red bricks laid by hand, where the
Oh,
rest
wow.
are all like the bigger antique blocks, but like
How
almost
those
like early
Schrader objects.
1920s. So it's some of the interior walls in the basement are original, and then like the other half towards the rear of the house, they had to have changed the stairway or something after that, because those are all like 1920s bricks, like your regular big cylinder gray blocks, but they're textured.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not a basement person, and that's why, like, even when we went to the Stimson and I said I have to go in the basement, and I came home and I was telling Roy about it, he was like, "You asked to go into a basement," and I'm like, "Not only did I
Yeah,
ask,
right.
like, I
Uh,
wanted to go down
we
there." And
went.
yeah,
Here's me. Can I go in the basement?
Right.
yeah,
There, I
and
start in the creepiest spot first, and it won't be as bad by the time I leave.
Exactly.
yeah, I just don't like basements. Ugh. The one house we lived in,
Yep.
the washer and dryer was in the basement, and that's really when Roy started doing laundry, because I said, we will live in dirty clothes or I will wash them in the bathtub. I am not going down there. I even hated, because I had the back door where when you walked in, like directly to your right was the stairs going to the basement, or you had like a little landing and then up to the kitchen. I hated that whole area. Yeah, it
Gotcha.
was one of those things I wouldn't look as I was going down.
Right.
Just, ugh. Yeah, I hated that basement. And Roy would sit down
Put
there
on your
all the time.
splinters and just walk through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I can't see it, it can't see me.
Yep. Yep. If I close my eyes, they can't see me. Nope. Don't like basement. Nope. Mm-mm.
But yeah, our cupboards, that's what I was saying. Our cupboards, when they open, I mean, they're original like 60s and 70s wood, but it's all like real wood, not laminate stuff or whatever back in the day. So like it's old, doors are curved and whatnot, but it's like they shut. And the ones that don't shut all the way, we leave cracked open anyways, but they don't swing. And then all the time, it's the doors that actually shut, and you hear them if they open, and then obviously they make noise when you close. But it's like we can wake up in the morning or come home from work at lunch, or even like go out, go shop, come back, and it's like cupboards are open.
Yeah, that's one thing that hasn't happened here is no cupboards have opened. I mean, knock on some wood, because that, I wouldn't say it would scare me, because it would just be like it escalated a little bit, but at the same time, just to see it, I think like the first time would just be like would make you speechless.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've had it happen enough now that we're kind of like numb to it, because like they have opened while we're in there just cooking and whatnot before. Like we'll both be on one side, and it's like it's not the floorboards. The bottom of the house ain't twisted in that area or whatever, because we've jumped up and down and tried to make them pop open and whatnot, and it's like, no, you got to open that door.
They want to help.
Yeah, apparently, that or they hate how atrocious we keep our cupboards. Yeah, just take the whole thing of pants and stuff it in there, and I'll get out what I need later.
Fun.
Yeah.
The last couple weeks in my office was interesting. It became very dark in there. Like I had stuff in there, kind of like a peace offering, and it worked. Like it calmed everything. Like I wasn't getting the orbs and everything as often as I was. Wasn't having the oppressive, heavy feeling and stuff. But then the last couple weeks, it was all back. And
It knew
then
you were
I,
leaving.
that, and the last couple of days while I was on vacation, or actually like the last like week when I was on vacation, someone else was in my office.
They didn't like that.
No, they did not. They were very unhappy about that. Like as soon as I opened the door, I knew. I was like, oh fuck.
Yep.
So yeah,
That's how I felt that day I messaged you about the music changing, because it was like, it was just so weird. I mean, you you can't physically change the music on that thing unless you command it. We literally went from Beach Boys, and then like I told Jenny, I love House of the Rising Sun, but it's like it literally cut off. Like Colton's one favorite Beach Boys song is "Let's Go Surfing Now," and it's
Mm-hmm.
like as soon as the chorus started in the song, it stopped, and the whole vibe instantly changed in the kitchen where we all were. Like the kids picked up on it. They were just like, what? And then that intro to House of a Rising Sun started, and it just chilled us all. And I was like, I love this song, but it's like just the whole way it happened and the song came on was just so like not right to begin with, because it was like nobody said anything. Like nobody told it to change. It wasn't in the playlist. It wasn't in the queue to play next in any way. It just literally started playing, and we had to tell it to shut off 3 times to get it to shut off. And then after that, I had messaged Jenny about it, and then I was like, all right, let's go out for ice cream. Like, over it, let's go.
Yes. There's
Nice. Good
never,
job.
yeah, no. That would probably cause me to look and go, what the fuck?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, doing what we do, like, there's days where I don't like being in the house alone because the vibe is just off, but it's like doing and going the places we go and do for investigating, it's like kind of, used to it,
Yeah.
especially all the stuff from my childhood that I experienced at my other grandma's house and so on. So it's like, to me, it doesn't bother me, but then it's like, Caitlin doesn't like it. So, like, when I'm not home, like, they'll turn everything on. Lights are on, fans are on, TVs are on. Like, no, we're just going to make it loud and exciting in here. And it's like, it works for them, They usually don't have nothing. But then I'm like, then I feel bad. I'm like, it was me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm like that. If Roy goes away for the night, my son now works he's worked third shift for a couple of years now. So if Roy goes like to his mom's or whatever on a Saturday, or if he's got this camping trip coming up, and I'm not looking forward to that. I would have like the boys stay, my grandsons, because yeah, they're not
Yeah.
going to protect me, but they're good company.
It's that added distraction you need in your mind, though.
Yes. Yep, it was that, but that was the night that, like, I had just went and laid down. Jackson was sound asleep, and Bentley was awake when I went into bed. He was playing on his phone, and the phone that Jackson had was on the middle of my table, like in the very middle of the table, because we were charging it. I heard a noise, and again, my bedroom is right off the living room where the boys were, and I heard a noise, and I heard Bentley say, "What the hell?" And I ran out there, and I was, there was no time for either of them to move, or I would have heard them shuffling. So they were exactly where they were when the noise happened, and that phone from the middle of my table was now like 6 feet away on the floor, like something threw it. And then Bentley was like, "Can you stand in the kitchen while I go to the bathroom? I've been hearing something on the steps." So, and I'm like, "Do you guys just want to sleep in my room and we'll shut the door?"
Right.
Yeah, and
Crazy.
it's always when Roy's gone and my son's gone, because even that night I had texted my son to tell him what happened. He was like, "That shit always happens when me and Dad are gone." I know, which is why I don't like to be alone.
Right?
Yeah, I think it was last year when Roy was gone for the 4th of July. Rachel came and stayed a couple days with me, and then she
Mm-hmm.
went home. And then that night, because I remember when after it happened, I pulled you and I'm like, "I need you to just talk to me because fuck this." I was actually in here cleaning up, and I'm almost positive it was a smoke detector. You know how you hit the button to like test it? That's what
Yep.
I
Yep.
heard. It was like a loud
The
beep
chirp.
really quick, and then it fucking stopped. It didn't happen again, so it wasn't a low battery, and Roy is very anal about changing the batteries in the smoke detectors. So I knew it wasn't a dead battery. So that's only a noise you're going to make if you're physically hitting that button, and that has never happened before, and it hasn't happened since. But it's always when he's gone, and he doesn't understand. Like, I don't give a fuck that he goes, but go on a night someone's home.
Right.
Fair. Although this year you'll have plenty of people in the house for you.
Yep, that I will. I will have plenty of people in the house, and it'll be fine because I'll be in my room, and they'll be sleeping. And like, honestly, at that point, the only thing that'll wake me up at any point is Sweet Pickle if she wakes up and wants a bottle or a diaper change or something. Which, by the way, her birthday, that's the one whose birthday is happening on the 6th. And I
Okay.
can't go to the thing, and because I call her Sweet Pickle, that's what they put on her cake.
Aw,
Nice.
cute.
Sweet
Nice.
Pickle.
My boss's wife gave him a pretty good birthday cake the other day.
Oh
Last
yeah.
last Thursday was his birthday, and she comes and gets all of us from around the shop, and he was in the office doing something. Like, we have a big picnic table area where we all eat at. I mean, we all literally have to see each other every day or whatever. So I mean, we all sit at a picnic table like family. But she
Makes
gets the
sense.
cake out. As soon as she opens the box, I was instantly like, no, you didn't. The cake is like this really awesome white decorative cake, but it's just plain. And written on it, it says, which piece has the toenail? And I'm like, oh, I can't even eat this now because I'm so grossed out in my own mind. But then at the same time, I was like, this is so evil. I love it.
That's amazing. I
Obviously,
want to
there
be
was
That's
your
no
friend.
awesome.
there was no toenail in it, but it was funny. I mean, it got the laugh out of him that we wanted or whatever because he was like, "It's cake. I'm eating it either way."
That's awesome. I love it.
That's great.
That is, I like that. That gives me so many fucking ideas.
Yeah, my mother once gave me what is called a kitty litter cake. You ever heard of that or had that?
Mm-mm.
I've heard
Oh,
of it, but I've never
I
had it.
can't remember exactly how it's made. Obviously, what you do is you go and you get a like a brand new like small plastic cat tray because obviously, even though it's a cat tray, like it's still technically like food gradable. You just obviously buy a clean brand new one, clean it, and then you build your cake in there. And the top layer is basically like a couple different brands of cookies that you crush it up, and it looks like kitty litter. And then you roll up and heat little like Tootsie Rolls to put on top.
Oh, I have
Yeah,
seen that.
because then it
Yes.
looks like a kitty litter cake. Yeah, first time she gave me that, I was like, "Did you literally bring me a tray of shit?" She's like, "No, it's a gag joke," and I was like, "Oh, okay, sorry."
I
Have blonde.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
I need ideas because Bentley's turning 13 this year, so I got to do something for him. So yeah,
Yeah, that'd be a
Um,
good one to do. She did
yeah.
mine, I want to say, on like my 16th or whatever, and I was just like, oh, hell no.
I like the toenail thing though. That is cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
that
yeah.
is good.
Yeah, I would do
I
that.
really like that one,
Right.
Yeah,
especially for your household.
Oh,
yeah. Hmm.
I love that. Okay, I got one more story. This one isn't from me personally. It actually got told to me last night from one of the ladies in the group, and it's about where she works, and that's why I'm not saying who it was. But it is a undisclosed bank in Texas. She's worked there for a while, and there's always kind of been stuff off and on, but lately apparently it's been kind of ramping up. So in the past, it had kind of centered around a particular employee. However, it seems to have kind of shifted to her, where it would open desk drawers, which not so bad. However, it also opens teller drawers.
well, that's not good.
No, no, it's not. It also turns off the cameras.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yep, they will come in the morning and the cameras are not working. Apparently, in the past month, it has fried 2 computers. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep. So yeah,
Ramping up the juice.
it is, and she said it used to be that you would leave the area and come back, and the drawer would suddenly be open. She said, but now it's like where you can stand back and you can watch it open. I was like, oh, I was like, do you ask him to close it?
I would. Hey, can you close
Right,
that?
me too. If you opened it, close it. We don't need any.
Right. Don't be lazy.
Yeah. Clean up after
So,
yourself.
yep,
That's pretty insane.
right.
That is creepy.
And she said she has looked up the history of the area, and apparently it was a well-known location for hangings.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Hmm. So it kind of makes me wonder if maybe a bank robber got caught, got hanged, and is like
Right.
forever playing with a fucking bank that he can't do anything with.
That could be.
That could be. It's totally true.
And if that's the case, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever worked any place that had activity?
Um, I mean, I have, like, honestly, my high school, after, like, I joined the stage crew, like I said, I did a lot of theater production work. I did that all through high school, and then was actually hired by my school after I graduated and
Oh,
worked
cool.
there, and also worked at the theater at our uh, local college on and off throughout that time as well. And but the high school definitely had weird things happen. Like during the shows, we had lights that would just start doing circles backstage. People used to people have film of it somewhere. Like this is a thing that went on, and it honestly, like it would always depend on like. I mean, like we say, with energy, and I mean, it's like there's times, where we've walked in a location
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like you're buzzing. And it would honestly be like that depending on the show. Like it's another one of those places where it's like the whole place is nothing but energy because that's what theater is. And there's nothing but, all the emotions in there and all the emotions people bring in from their normal day and then the emotions they experience when they're watching whatever they're watching or listening to it. So it's like, and it's a high school and that property probably was, original settlers, Indian property, even back in the day before anybody has record keeping of it, just from how it's been and the fact that it's also part of a smaller town that doesn't exist, but it's still on the map technically.
Hmm.
Like it used to be two separate little towns that then joined into one big area type deal.
Gotcha.
But yes, lots of weird light issues, lights literally spinning in circles, hanging from the ceiling. There's times where you could be there by yourself and you'd swear you see people walking in the aisles, even though there's not. Or you'd catch curtains moving and, there's no breeze, nobody's up on stage. Just the little things like that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I worked in a few places. One was like the old Ameritech building, which is actually right down the street from the Temple Theater. And there was a lot of stuff that would happen because I was on the cleaning crew, and my floor was the seventh
Yep.
floor. Which there's 2 floors after that, but you could only get to it by the stairway. Well, and there's no electricity going to those because they hadn't used them in 30, 40 years. So, and Roy also worked there. Well, there was a group of us, I think 5 of us, that went up there, just to see, because Roy had seen it because he had worked there for a while, but I had never seen it and the other people hadn't. So one night when we had all of our work done, we all went up there, and like when you got up there, the feeling was just really, really, really heavy. And now, mind you, there's no electricity, but there was a drinking fountain up there, and it kept going off. And I'm like, okay, I'm walking back downstairs, and like the floor that I was on, I already didn't like being up there at night because it just had a really weird feel, and I did not know this until much later, especially like you got off the elevator and went to your right, and it was just a big square. It was like a smaller floor, but once you got like in that back hall, there was all windows. Being by those windows for whatever reason freaked me out. Well, I found out later that a guy jumped at those windows. But I would be up there vacuuming, and if you've ever worked for a cleaning company, you know that they want you to walk
Yep.
backwards while you're vacuuming, so you're not leaving
Yep.
footprints. And so I'm walking backwards, and the cord to the vacuum was plugged in behind me, and I'm vacuuming, and all of a sudden my vacuum goes off, and the cord is like 7 feet away from the wall, like where you plug it in. It was
Yanked
like so
out.
someone like took it out and then threw it. And I'm like, you know what? This floor already looked good. There was like 3 people
Right.
that worked on, 3 people that worked on that floor that day, so I'm like wheeling everything to the elevator and wrapping it as I'm going down because I'm not taking the time to do that because I'm up there by myself and fuck you and fuck the jumper and whatever else was up there. And I think the worst one that happened was being a female walking, like cleaning a men's bathroom when 2 of the 3 people that worked up there were men. So I would knock on the door. It was like the door and then another door that went in. And so I would open the first one, knock on the second one. Well, I heard a toilet flush. So I'm like, okay, well, one of the guys must still be up there. And I waited, and you could hear the water going on, that they were washing their hands. And then I waited, and then I waited, and then I waited. And then I opened the door because I knocked, and there was nothing, and nobody was in there. Yeah, that was probably the fastest I ever cleaned that fucking bathroom.
I was gonna say, and you know, the reason women get the bathrooms, even though there's men to be able to do them, is because we do a better job.
You know what? Here's the thing. I don't know about other buildings, but I know in that particular building, I would clean every men's bathroom in there over one woman's bathroom. The women there were fucking disgusting.
We have some of those at work.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yep.
Gross. Because, you know, women have things in their bathroom that men do not have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
you would find those in places that weren't them little bins on the wall. Yeah, that was
I can
cool.
imagine.
I don't want to
Yeah.
know where those are found.
Oh, the floor, behind the toilet, everywhere. And like it was so bad. And I understood, like my husband and his other friend that worked there, they would be, we'll vacuum your floor if you clean our women's bathroom. You know what? If I don't have to go up on 7 and vacuum up there, I will clean them tampons off the floor. I will do that.
Okay, fair.
Where's a kitty?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was women's bathrooms are
drool.
gross.
Drooling all over.
That's awesome.
Plus, she got in the water dish, so now she's like half wet all over. Yeah. It's like wet carpet.
Yep.
Now, Dan, what are your top 3 haunted places you would like to go and investigate or just visit, whether you've been there before or not?
My top 3 would be places I haven't been yet. One, I don't know. Like, one of them would be to the supposed like Franklin Castle in Cleveland, Ohio, because they claim it's like really haunted. But that's kind of one of those places I'd chalk up to I need to go there and see it for myself type deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of stories online and a lot of rumors, and it's supposedly like one of the most haunted places in Ohio, they've said. But there's a lot of condescending information about it. Like, when I was looking it up online, reading about it, like, there's no agreement on like what year it was even built. Like, I've seen stuff that had said it was like built in 1855, but then some articles say no, 1881. But then later on in the line, they're talking about like the first family that lived there in like 1859 or whatever. So it's like, what is it? You know what I mean? But it has, like, the actual facts about it have been at one point, I can't remember, sometime in the 20s though, it was literally sold to the German Socialist Party. And we all know how those people have turned out.
Yeah.
Literally sold it to Nazis at
Interesting.
one point. And then it was rumored to be a big mill of like spies, like a spy meeting place,
Mm-hmm.
and like an assassination planning spot, and all sorts of other stuff that went with it. There's like up to 20 people that have been rumored to be machine gunned to death there over political debates during that time. And
Oh, geez.
Other stories about, I mean, like the original family, their members, I believe him, his wife, and his mother-in-law, and at least 3 of his kids died in the house. So
Wow.
Oh,
that's for sure one place. But that's like, I need to go there type place, you know. Uh, Another place I would like to go, but I definitely like, I go with my people, you know what I mean? So we have good energy, because
Hmm.
it's definitely known to be a dark place, would be the Haunted Hill House in Texas, in Mineral Wells.
that's a good
Like,
one. That's
I subscribe to their Facebook page, and they do a lot of like live videos on Facebook or even on like YouTube. They'll do like a static cam all day, and I mean, the
That's cool.
activity in the place is definitely crazy. I mean, doors moving. I wrote it down earlier somewhere for some quick facts, but they have over 600 confirmed scratches on people and investigators being there, and they've had
Wow.
confirmed bites four or 5 different times on people, like actual teeth marks in their skin and everything in the picture. Nothing
That's
but Class A
crazy.
EVPs, poltergeist activity, K2 stuff. Like, it's all Class A there. They
Oh,
post about it
dang.
all
Now I
the
want to
time, but
go.
it's definitely very dark, and that's one of those places that has a waiver because, I mean, you know, you don't know what you're
Hmm.
getting into, but it's literally there for paranormal research.
That's awesome.
yeah. That
And
My
that's a good
husband and I were
choice.
talking. Sorry.
no, you're good.
um, we were talking earlier today, and he's like, I really want to, do this. He's like, but I want to go somewhere where something's going to happen. And I was like,
Yep.
well,
Say
all
that
I got
until
to
something
do
happens.
is like, I just got to talk to some people and we'll find a place.
Right.
So yeah, that one definitely piques my interest to take him to.
Yeah.
And my third would probably be the Hinsdale House in New York, just because, I mean,
That's on my
it's
list
been
too.
around since the 1700s, and there's so many different things and people and references to know that something's going on there. And it's
Yep.
kind of like a mix of it all, which is where a lot of the places we have all been together have been like. So that would be like my top 3.
Yeah, that's
Some
on
are
my
good
top
choices.
3 as well.
Okay, so then what are your other 2?
One of my other ones is Josh Hurd's place down in Iowa. I am so curious about that
Melbourne,
place, the Shadow Man.
yeah,
Yep, I want to go to
Yeah,
Melbourne.
I've, I've never seen any of the stuff on that place. Um,
it's pretty crazy.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never
Yes,
seen the stuff.
he
It's
also
hard to
does
get
like
past the.
live static feeds for it, and it's like there's stuff you can see that you're just like, okay,
It's hard to get
Yeah.
past the douchebaggery.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud, but I did.
As far as a third location, I don't really have a specific third one.
I
It's
mean,
just
now I want to
any
do that one in Texas you were talking about.
right. I mean, that's definitely on the list, but yeah.
Yeah, that's like something I'd start saving now. I mean, I'd have to cut way back on my shopping, um, but I'd give it a shot.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like I got asylums on my list that I want to see and stuff
Yep.
like that. So, yeah, there's a lot on my paranormal bucket list.
For
Yeah,
sure. That's always a
there is.
bummer too if a place closes too, you know, or shuts down. Like that's what
Yeah,
Yep.
like have you guys ever heard of Whispers Estate
It
in
sounds
Indiana?
familiar.
no.
Well, it was featured on The Unexplained, and then there for me it's one of those another kind of touchy feely place I want to say. Like I've seen a lot that's filmed there that would for sure seem like stuff's there going on and pretty bad. But then I've also seen where there's like multiple groups on Facebook that are like dedicated to just proving anything and everything about the
Hmm.
place and the guy that was owning it and running it. So it's like it's one of those, like, I'd have to see it to believe it on my own, you know? But
Gotcha.
there are a couple good, like, documentaries about it out. If anybody has Tubi, it's free.
I
You can
do.
find it on TV. Yes,
Yeah.
there's one about Whispers Estate on there. And I don't know. It's one of those places. It's rumored to, be like the place I was talking about in Texas, to run investigators out and whatnot, because there's supposedly all this horrible stuff that happened. But it's also like, when you start reading into some of these groups and what they're putting evidence towards disproving on, it's kind of like, like, you got to look at both sides of that case.
Right.
So it's like one of those places I was like, but they just recently bulldozed it down. So it's like, well, there goes that off the list.
That one. And I'm bummed that they don't do that stuff at the Edson anymore.
Yeah. Me too.
Well, they do, but I've also heard that it's like, obviously, like 5 times more expensive now. But
that sucks.
Yeah, that sucks
Right.
because that I mean, with how things happened that night, I would definitely like to go back, especially down in the 9/11 room, because that was insane. But I would have to say my 3. I would definitely like to go to Alcatraz.
Yes. I tried so freaking hard to get my husband to take me to Alcatraz when we were in California. I drove past that thing at least once a week for like 4 months. I was like, I need to go.
I mean, I've
Never
seen
got to
so
go.
many. You see so many like the paranormal shows where they go there and there's always something. That would definitely be one of them on mine. Another one would be, multiple places in Gettysburg. But anytime I talk about staying down there, the one guy that I used to work with would say, stay at the Cashtown Inn, because there's never not activity when you stay there. He went there numerous times, stayed there, and he would tell me, like, I'm a skeptic, but something happened every fucking time that I could not explain. I couldn't explain it away by anything, like it moved, whatever the situation was. But he said every time I stayed there, something happened that there was no way it had a normal explanation. So definitely I would want to go to Cashtown Inn, but multiple locations in Gettysburg that I would like to do. And then probably, I don't know, like someplace in New Orleans, like the Delphine Lalaurie or whatever. She was an asshole, but like her home. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. I don't think they do tours with this current owner.
They probably don't.
Yeah.
Right. That's how it always goes.
Or
I think I remember they don't. I think I remember.
Like,
how does that work?
or possibly like the Lizzie Borden house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely on my list.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to narrow it down to just 3.
Right.
It is. I was poring over it all day, and I was like, I guess like everywhere's on everybody's list. You know what I mean? I'd still like to go check out the Stanley Hotel out in Colorado.
Yeah.
Same.
And I
I
think
just don't want to see no twins when I check in.
no. And I think if I had to pick a place that I've already been, it would have to be Slaughterhouse.
Oh hell yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It would have to be.
That place always calls to me.
Always.
Same.
Always. I know, like, at Christmas time, Dan and I were talking about it, and, like, we were both talking about how, like, it was constantly on our mind. And, like, I would talk to Roy about it and just, like, obsess more and more, because as you talk about it, you remember shit that happened while you were there.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like,
It instantly reconnects you to it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And do you know how difficult it is being so close to it?
I know.
I mean, now there's a weed store out in front of it.
Yep. As long as they don't tear it down, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that would be devastating, I think, if that got
Yeah.
torn down.
I mean, honestly, especially with what's there. I mean, they've all been there for so long. I mean,
Yeah. You know, and not even just the house, but the store and the barber shop and everything connected to it,
right?
because that shit's all,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Yeah, there was something in every spot we went into.
Yep.
Yeah,
Same.
so definitely that place for somewhere I've already been, for sure. That would be my top.
Same.
Absolutely.
It would be fun to go back to the Edson though too. I will say
Yes.
that that place
Yeah.
was pretty crazy every time I went.
Yep.
I mean, you can go, but it's definitely like more limited now. I know because there's a group I found on YouTube that was their last month's debuting video or whatever, just for the
Mm,
month. I mean, they've done other videos, but I had commented on it like, "Hey, I've been there," you know,
nice.
and they have pretty much a lot of the same activity we all had. You know,
Nice.
voices, footsteps, stuff moving,
Yeah.
cat balls.
And like, yeah, and like the one that really sticks out was that one time, I think it was you, me, and Ann were in like not the living room area, but like the dining room between the kitchen, and you and I were both seeing something at that back stairway, and that
Yeah,
just ah, oh, I want to go back very badly.
One of us needs to win the lottery so we can all go play.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I try every day. I try my hardest every day.
Yeah, I should try to
Especially
play
when they say
more.
what you're scared of manifests. So I'm like, life winnings. Ah.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely need to manifest some shit so we can knock these 9 or 10 places we just talked about off of our bucket
Yeah,
list.
Yeah.
we'll just rent an RV.
Yep,
There you go.
rent an
Perfect.
RV.
Rent an RV
Another.
and get to driving.
Yep, I like it. I like it.
Same.
That sounds amazing. All right, Jenny, you want to tell them about our socials?
All right. You can find us over on TikTok at creepy.soup. I'm getting better at posting. My work shifts have changed. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. And I also had recording issues this week, which was entertaining. And you can find us over on Facebook, Creepy Soup. Make sure to follow. Dan is always posting great articles and historical things, and you never know what you're going to find on there. So, and for our merch and all of that, Joe, please say it.
It is PFC. Yep, pfcstore.printify.me.
That's why she says it. Oh,
And then, well, you said if you search it, you'll find more than just your page. So, but Black Lily Boutique, and I will do everything I can to remember to send that or post that in the show notes.
Yeah. We
Other
also
than that,
have the email at blacklilyboutique@gmail.com.
okay, send me that, and I will post that also.
Okay, we'll
And
do.
then, thank you so much for joining us. I know, like I said, it was last minute. We didn't
No
have
problem.
shit
It was fun
planned,
to
but
talk to you guys.
yeah,
yeah.
it's been nice. And we have all talked. We do want Dan to come on, because we all have different schedules. Dan is a first shift person. Jenny and I are more second/third shift people. So it's really, really hard to get us all.
It is.
at the
Especially
same
because some
time.
days, like, my day runs first and second shift, so it's
Yeah.
like,
Yep, it makes it so hard, and like it's been 2 years since we've had Dan on, and it's taken this long to make it happen again.
Yep.
Definitely, we've been talking though. We would like to maybe do this more often, and I know Dan has a nice little, well, not really so much little, but a nice story that we have wanted to bring him on to talk about. So hopefully next time we bring you on, that's what we can talk about. And Dan's got lots of pictures that we'll be showing. So,
Be
def-
prepared. Grab
so we
snacks.
definitely want to have Dan back.
right.
But thank you again for joining us. Last minute type shit.
Thank you guys for having me.
Appreciate having you on. It was great.
Yes. So follow our socials. Still find us on YouTube, Creepy Soup Podcast. Our episodes are now on, and I believe they run in video form on Spotify as well.
Okay.
And that is under the PFC network, under their page. And then also, of course, the other podcasts. I think, God, there's so many. There's like the Potato Pals Perspective. My personal favorite is the Power Tripping Through the 80s. There's the Close to the Heart. There's Say What. There's the Fatal Four Way. There's like a shit ton of them. So when you go there, just follow all of them. Well,
Yep.
the ones that there's a few of them are wrestling shows. So if you're into the whole wrestling thing, they're perfect for you. But me, I'm an 80s child, so I like all things 80s. Which I was actually recently on. I don't know if you saw, and that was a last minute thing. They had me on. We recorded last Saturday. They did the top 15 horror movies of the 80s. That was fun.
Sorry, aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah, he wants to play. He's got shit to do, Mom.
He does. Fortnite is calling to him.
He's got shit to do and he wants you to do it with him.
He does.
All right,
He
well,
does.
thank you everyone for watching, and we will hope you have a good weekend.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.